What's up, guys? The Ghost Girl here, and welcome back to me reading real ghost stories. This is episode 3. Make sure to watch episode 1, episode 2, part 1, and episode 2, part 2. Make sure to watch those episodes before you watch this episode. So, in the first episode, I read this ghost story called God, Please Help Me, and in the second one, I read The Crawl Space in the Basement. And now in episode 3, which is this one, I'm going to be reading real ghost stories. The Whispering. As you can see, it's in the picture, there's a creepy stair. There's a creepy stairs like that. Looks like it leads to the basement or something. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to it. But first, but I have two things before I start this. If you want to get this yourself and read some creepy ghost stories, then go to the App Store, go in the games section, and then look up real ghost stories. And after you look that up, it should be the picture that says real ghost stories. That looks like a creepy person. Yeah, but anyway, the second thing is, if you want, you can, while listening to this, you can close your eyes and imagine all this happening to a girl or a boy. Imagine this to a girl or a boy. I really do not care. I know I am when I read these kinds of stories. But of course, you expect this from me because this is actually what this channel is about, some creepy ghost stuff. When my phone's a little charged, I might be going out to go ghost hunting while I make a video for you guys. Anyway, let's get this started. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, so let's start reading it from the beginning. But look at this. All these stories are so huge and big. Okay. Anyway, this is a story I do not often tell. I promise sincerely that this has scared me for life. And although I have looked into psychobiological or whatever expectations for what I heard and natural expectations for what occurred, they remain unsatisfactory. When I was a child, I was scared of the dark. I swore to my mother I heard voices in it. They were not evil, but they were not familiar, and so they scared me. It was not uncommon in the middle of the nights for me to wake up to hear whispers, as I could call them then, asking my mom. She figured they were just bumps in the nights, and typical kids' nightmares material. I tried often to explain to her that it was more than that they sounded different from one another, the way people's voices do. On some nights, I would get so scared from these whispers that I would sleep in my mom's bed with her. It was an added bonus that the bedroom was distant outside of her bedroom door for my late night tinkles. I should add at this point that when walking out into the hall to go to the bathroom, you look directly down to the stairs that would lead you into my living room on the first floor, as my mom's bedroom was on the second floor. On one such night, around Christmas, I awoke and felt the need to reveal myself. I walked out from the door and directly heard the phrase, "Look!" And to my attunement, a red light, almost like a spotlight, was cast upon the wall at the very bottom of the stairs. The light had no other source. It was it by itself, and I was transfixed by it. Oh my God. Being a little kid, and it was being a few days from Christmas, I knew what the light was. It was Santa. How else could he get into my house to know I was being a good boy? I was so excited I began walking down the stairs to greet him, picking up my pace after the second steps as it began to creep off the wall and fade into the darkness in my living room. Okay, guys, pause this for a minute. Apparently this dude's a boy. So just imagine a boy instead of a girl. Unless you want to imagine a girl just saying it's a good girl or something like that. Okay, but anyway, back to the story. That's when I heard him. A very strong, masculine voice. Different from the first, not all at all like my father's. Not to say he isn't masculine. It was just directly different. It said, "Stop right now. Go back up those stairs." I listened, turned around, and what happened next, I am not sure. I would believe if someone had told me this same story. After reaching the top of the stairs, I heard a very loud crash. That sent me running back to my mother's bed, where I jumped straight under the covers and stayed under the whole night. When we awoke the next morning, the poinsettia lights, little Christmas flower lights that glowed red. My mother had put on the railing down the stairs were pulled straight down to the bottom of the stairs. Some broken from the seams like a forceful tear, laying in a single pile. The dry sink in my living room had fallen from the wall. My mother could not explain it. My father was worried we had been the victims of a home invasion. My sister was crying. There was nothing missing. Nobody had broken in. There did not seem to be any reason this had happened. And then I saw it and I kept quiet about it because I was so afraid that I could not force words out of my mouth. There on the edge of the wooden dry sink, which had been facing up, were then their indentations where the finish on the wood had been worn, almost as if in a forceful grip. Something down there had grabbed it and threw it down. That was what the bang was. I was mortified. After that day, I never heard a single voice again. I do not like to imagine what was waiting downstairs for me that night, if it was anything at all, but I can tell you that the reality was that something had physically act upon two things in my house near the bottom of the stairwell. After this, I never heard another whisper again, which is sad, because in some ways I would have liked to thank the man that had stopped me from going down those stairs. This happened when I was 7. I am 20 years old now, and because of this incident, I am still afraid of the dark, especially shadowy stairwells. Well, that's why it has shadowy stairwells right there. Okay, anyway, this was actually a short story to read. How many minutes have I been recording? Okay, that's actually not bad at all. Anyway, bye guys, and I hope you enjoyed this story. Stay tuned for the next parts. Bye!